Lough Ine is a semi-enclosed marine lake situated 5 kilometres west of Skibbereen and some 80 kilometres from Cork City in the southwest of Ireland. It measures just 0.8 kilometres by 0.6 kilometres and was a freshwater lake up to 4,000 years ago, when a rise in sea levels joined it with the sea. It is now a highly sheltered seawater basin, connected to the North Atlantic Ocean via a narrow inlet called Barlow Creek. Lough Ine was designated Europe's first statutory marine nature reserve in 1981. Over 1,850 marine species have been recorded in Lough Ine. The loch supports many different marine habitats and environmental conditions: subtidal cliffs, intertidal rocky and sedimentary shores, boulder screes, seagrass beds, and salt marshes in water movement, ranging from still to very fast. And in the middle of the loch is Castle Island, splitting the loch into north and south basins, each of a maximum depth of around 24 metres. The most notable environmental feature of Lough Ine is the seasonal thermocline that forms usually below 25 metres in the Western Trough each summer.
My name is Maria McGuinness and I'm a PhD student in University College Cork, and I come to Lough Ine every 2 weeks in the summer and then monthly in the winter to take plankton samples. We're building a time series to track the changes seasonally and also annually in Lough Ine, just looking at the plankton and what changes over time. I used to do a lot of water sports and everything when I was a kid, and I actually used to go to Lough Ine on my holidays when I was younger, so it's quite fun now that I get to work in Lough Ine. So my undergraduate degree was biochemistry, and I looked to see what I could kind of do with that or where I could go, and I just found this master's here in Cork, and it just seemed to fit perfectly with the fieldwork in Lough Ine and everything. I just thought I have to. So the deepest part of Lough Ine is 50 metres. It's quite a unique ecosystem, so in comparison to the rest of the coast, it's really deep, and it has these rapids that let the tide in. There's kind of an asymmetrical tide, so it's 4 hours and 8 hours rather than 6 and 6. And also the way Lough Ine is set up, in the summer it stratifies thermally, so what that means is that there's a lot of solar energy from the sun and it heats up the top few layers of the water and it creates this kind of band. So there's quite hot water on the top, and then there's a band where the temperature drops really rapidly, and then there's colder water underneath. So there's this separation between the two layers, and that doesn't happen the rest of the coast because there's a lot more energy with the tide crashing against the shore, and it mixes all this water up. But that does happen further out in the Celtic Sea. So we can kind of use Lough Ine because of this phenomenon as a proxy for studying the Celtic Sea, which is great because it's so much more accessible. We can drive down there every week if we want. We can go out on the Little Rib, whereas if we wanted to study the Celtic Sea, we'd have to, hire a research vessel, which is just a lot more expensive and a lot more time consuming. So that's the real benefit of Lough Ine. So there's a brilliant lab called the Ranouf lab, and it's on the far side of Lough Ine, and it's brilliant because we have some microscopes there set up. There's facilities for us to stay if we need to, and it just really allows us to spend more time at the loch and to study it in greater detail. And there's also a dive store because some of the guys do diving regularly to study the sponges and some other communities in Lough Ine, so it's just great to have a facility like that there for us.
The School of Bees in University College Cork offers an MSc in marine biology. It aims to train graduates in multiple areas of marine biology and equip them with professional certificates in sea survival, powerboat handling, marine radio and first aid, as well as necessary field skills. The areas of marine biology covered in this master's course include fisheries and aquaculture, genetics, marine ecology and conservation, marine mammals, and ecological aspects of GIS, Geographic Information System. In addition, the course has a significant fieldwork component, including shipwork, as well as survey and sampling techniques training. This course, run entirely by the School of Biological, Earth and Environmental Sciences at University College Cork, provides an understanding of the various disciplines and skills needed in order to meet the growing demand for trained marine biologists at home and abroad.